Papa.
Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today we are going to be doing if I could only keep 10 books book tag. I think this is what it is. So I was tagged in this by Becca. Danny might have tagged me as well. I can't remember. A couple of people have tagged me in this. And I know I'm late doing this. I was gonna cheat. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna pick full series of books that I wanted to keep. But that would have been cheating, so I've narrowed it down to 10 books. These are in no particular order. These are the first 10 books that came to mind when I was like, if I had to take 10 books and I could only keep 10 books, which ones would I pick? So it was literally just, I put myself in a situation, I was like, if I had to rush and grab 10 books, where would I go? So that, I haven't even sat and thought about this. First up, we have Polar Bear Explorers Club. This is by Alex Bell, and this was one of the first, and it's upside down. So this was one of the first middle grades I read, and it was part of Polathon last year that I read it. And as always with middle grade, the likelihood is it will be Gav or Jade that has introduced me to this to a middle grade book, and it was on Jade's recommendations I picked this up, and I'm so glad I did. Love the series. I've still not got to the Pirates one yet. There's the most recent release, but because this is the first of the series and this introduces me to Stella and Shay and Bina, I had to pick this as the one for me, as one of the ones I would keep. Next up we have Nevermoor by Jessica Townsend. I would, once again, I've only read the first 2 books, and if I could keep both of them, I would. This was a Gavin recommendation, and I'm so glad that I read this. I'm gutted that I left it so long to read it, but I will at some point get around to Hollowpox, because Silverborn is out in October, so I need to get around to Hollowpox at least before. Like the latest is September that I'll be reading the 3rd one, but this was my pick for this one. Next up we have Darker Shade of Magic. So I was debating whether or not to pick the first book or the 3rd book for this, because the first book introduces us to Lila and Kel, and it's just that whole newness of the whole friendship, adventure, magic situation. It'd be great to reread that over and over again. But I was debating between this one and the 3rd one, because obviously the 3rd one just ties everything up together, and it made me cry so much, the 3rd one, and it is a hell of a lot chunkier. I think it seems a lot chunkier. I decided to pick this one just because of the whole newness of the relationships of the characters that are introduced. This is my lovely collector's edition, and the only downside is it's matte and everything sticks to it. So if I'm going to reread this series, which I'm hoping to do at some point this year, I won't be using the hardcover ones. I'll be using my paperbacks, because I worry every time I touch those books. Next up we have Middlegame. I think I could reread this book multiple times and still not fully understand everything that I need to know about this book. I loved this. This was my favourite book of January of this year, and so far it's one of my top books in general, like, that I've ever read. If you told me to sit down and tell you this plot from start to finish, the likelihood is I would not be able to do it. I could tell you it's about Roger and Dodger, and because there's so many complexities to this that I just can't explain, but I cannot wait to get a chance to reread this again. I've already tabbed some bits, and I'm going to see if upon reread I can gather any more information from this that I didn't get in the first round, which I'm sure I will. But the second book in this series is out in April, I think. So not long, and I'll be getting this. I think it's called The Feared something. I will leave it linked below, but I 100% recommend. Next up, I am due a reread of this book because I want to read this and then move on to Muse of Nightmares if I can. I'm still looking for the Muse of Nightmares in the matching set, which is like this kind of faded situation but in orange, but I'm still struggling to get a hold of that. I still haven't read Muse of Nightmares either, but I could reread this over and over again. Mr. Strange, Mr. Laszlo Strange, Mr. Laszlo Strange. He pulls at my heartstrings. This was such a great read. And once again, I didn't read this till last year. I got this when Fairy Loot had it in their box. Like 2016, 2017, whenever this came out. It's signed by Eleni Taylor. And it was just sat on my shelves looking pretty for years. And then when I got back into the Booktube's book world, I decided that I was going to give this a go and pick it up, and did not regret a thing. And next one would be Sawbinder, and yes, this is weird that it's a book 4 in a series, but this is the one that pulled on my heartstrings the most. This is the one that made me laugh and cry the most. I don't want to... the last book did make me tear up quite a lot, but I don't think I'd want to read the ending of this series over and over again, because I didn't want this series to end. Obviously at some point every series has to come to an end, but this is like a nice in the middle section situation where I really enjoyed this book. And next up we have, I could not put a top 10 books that I would keep together without putting Ms. Mass in there. And you probably would be surprised that it isn't Akawar. I was debating whether or not I would like Akawar in there or this. But I think Bryce and her badassness just pipped it to the post a little bit. If I could, I'd have just picked up like every Sarah J. Maas book I own and then use that as like one book. But that definitely would be cheating. So yeah, this would be on the list. And I realised that some of these are quite chunky. I've got more chunky books than I realised. And the last 2 books, I couldn't pick one or the other of these. This series got me back into reading, and these have my heart. The Dregs have my heart. Kaz, Inej, Jesper, Waylon, just the whole crew have my heart. Take my soul. I love this series, and I couldn't pick between the first and second book for different reasons. This just like introduces you to all the characters, and this then breaks your heart to a million pieces. So I get the best of both worlds, don't I? Boom, boom, boom. So there are my top 10 books that I would keep if I could only keep 10 books. I can't count. I cannot count. So I thought that was 10 books, but it wasn't. I miscounted. The last one that I would have on there is Valor. And I know you're going to say that, oh, you read about Malice, but Malice is, I can remember all of what happens in Malice, if most of it anyway. So, and the introduction to the characters, I already have them embedded in my brain. And this one is the one where things start ramping up. Things start getting a bit heated. It's just, there's more to explore in this book than in the first one. If I was to pick up one from the series, although once again I think this broke my heart more than the first or third book. Yeah, just remember what happens. Yes, this actually did break my heart. And this is a flooper. It is a flooper. We do love a flooper. And yeah, so this is the second book in the Faithful of Fallen series by John Gwynne. So this would be my 10th book. Can't believe I just miscounted. I can't even count to 10. How do I adult? I can't even count to 10. So, they're my 10 books. They're my actual 10 books. And they would keep me happy. If I couldn't have any more books than that, I would be disappointed, obviously. But I get little bits from some of my favourite authors. There we go. There we go. That is my 10 books that I would keep if I had to pick just 10. Thank you for joining me on this journey of enlightenment. Ooh. And I will see you all in my next video, whenever that may be. Because I need to get some videos edited for one of my Beckers. Oh, I forgot. The last thing I need to do is tag people. So I know that quite a few people have already done this. Okay, so Liv hasn't posted hers yet. So I'm going to tag Liv. So Liv, if you haven't done this, there you go. I'm also going to tag Chelsea from Not So Secret Bookaholic. You are tagged. I'm also going to tag Shell from Bookishly Shell and Katie from Sitting Katie. You're welcome. I'm also going to tag Siobhan from Siobhan Reads a Lot, and anybody else that would like to do this. I tag you all. Go forth and share your bookishness with me. I don't know who else to tag because so many people have already done this. I'm very late to the game, so yes, those are the people I tag, and I can't wait to see what you show me. I'm now definitely going now that I remembered that bit. The whole point of tag videos, tag people, so you're tagged. Bye.